Oh, Brie, I just thought of something that I've been meaning to ask you this whole time. How much is your life like the movie The Devil Wears Prada? Hey, welcome to the Maybe You're Like Me podcast with me, Mike Burns. Listen, I know we're all more alike than we care to think. We've all got dreams, we've all got hopes, but sometimes we can feel a little alone trying to navigate in this crazy world we live in. So, this podcast is all about you, and it's all about me and how maybe we're a little more alike than we care to think. Welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. On today's episode, we are talking to Brie Elledge. Brie is an amazing photographer. She lives in New York City. She does amazing fashion photography and photography of people that you probably see on TV every week. It's incredible, and you guys are going to love this conversation with Brie. So let's take it away. Brianna, it is so good to see you again. I saw you earlier, like 10 minutes ago. Technology got the best of us and our conversation got cut off and a whole bunch of fun stuff. But Brianna, it's so good to have you on Maybe You're Like Me. It's so good to see you. How are you doing, friend?
I'm good. You know, I missed you over those last 10 minutes, but thank goodness see you again soon.
What's the phrase? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. And
it's true.
Our hearts are so fond right now.
So fond.
Brianna, I've known you for a while, and you have just taken off. You've done some amazing things. You are a all-star photographer, like the level of photographer that makes me angry when I see your pictures. Like there's some people that you see the pictures like, oh, that's a nice picture. But I see your pictures on Instagram or wherever of like projects you've done, and they legitimately just make me angry. And if you could talk me down from this ledge. Wait, you seem proud of that. What's going on with that?
Oh, yeah. That's goals. You know.
I'm going to get in the weeds. I'm going to get in the weeds for a second. I don't understand how you capture skin texture so good. Like it'll be a close up, like you've done some like makeup campaigns and stuff. And we're going to get to the podcast stuff in a second, everybody. I'm sorry, but how do you capture? Legitimately at the end of this, we'll share your Instagram and people can go look at your pictures. It's ridiculous. So, Brianna, I've known you for so long and I'm so inspired by the stuff you're doing, but for everybody out there who may not have bumped into you yet, who is Brianna? Give us the rundown. Who are you?
Hello, friends of Mike. My name is Brie Elledge. I'm a New York-based fashion and beauty photographer. Lover of dogs, pigeon aficionado. I like long walks to the subway.
Let's go ahead and take a quick pause. What is a pigeon aficionado?
You know, they're the state bird of New York, and I think they deserve our respect and appreciation.
Now, are you on team?
Do yourself a favor and go on Instagram and find Mother Pigeon sometime. She's a local favorite.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and put a trigger warning for everybody listening. Maybe not to do that. I don't know if we can trust Brie on this one. This seems a little sketch, but pigeon aficionado. So yeah, you're up there in Manhattan in New York, rock star photographer, and like who are some of the like people you've worked with? Like even recently, I've seen things like Harper's Bazaar, like sports companies, all sorts of stuff.
Barstool Sports recently. I worked with Chris Maloney from Law and Order a couple of weeks ago.
Is that with an M or a B? Is it Chris Maloney? And if so,
you know, I'm pretty sure it's Maloney with an M if I did my research right.
Okay.
However, I did tell him not to bring any baloney to set.
Oh man. I can just hear people clicking off of the podcast right now. Oh no. Well, it was great. No. This has been a great episode of Maybe You're Like Me. All right. So on Maybe You're Like Me, our goal is like we see people like you that maybe I see you from a distance. So all the time I see, for the most part, I see filtered Brie. Like we're friends and I could call you up and we could have a heart-to-heart conversation. But for the most part, I see what you want me to see. So I see some honestly really great pictures. I see if you go on vacation or a location shoot, and I see the stuff that the filtered version of you. So before we can get to beyond the filter, beyond the stuff, and see if maybe we're a little bit of like, even though you are just an all-star talent, let's figure out who you are. Like, give everybody the filter version of you. Like, if they're like following you on Instagram, who are they seeing? What are they seeing?
Oh, probably what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of my work is on Instagram. That's where I share like projects and client work and different like art projects that I'm working on. Um, and then probably just in my stories, just travels and pictures of me and my dogs and hanging out with buds, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, you do some pretty cool stuff. Like, I've seen you travel all around the world, getting to take cool pictures, and sometimes it's vacation, sometimes it's work. But it's cool, like that you've got to do so many amazing things so far in your life, and so I'm proud of you, friend. And
Oh,
we've been
thanks.
friends for 12, 13 years, something crazy like that. We've been in each other's vicinity. The space has gotten a little bit further these last couple of years. You up in the old NYC, and me down in the Little Apple, Lakeland. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what everybody says. Yeah,
our pigeon content is way less though, so I understand if you don't want to hang around as much. All right. So here on Maybe You're Like Me, we like to do things in a couple of rounds of questions. And so we're going to start off with what I call the first date round. A long time ago, I figured out that the best way to, if you're on a first date, to make the first date a successful first date is to ask questions, but not like, do you like dogs or cats? Which you've already said. Do you like pigeons? Wait, no, you said dogs. But it's to ask the right questions. And so like knowing if you like dogs or cats is good, but we want to try to get to know you at least a little bit. So ask the right questions. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and we will see who Brie Elledge's first date styles. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. So if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, that you get one meal and it's the same meal over and over, it is Groundhog Day meal. What is your Groundhog Day meal?
I'm going to have to go with sushi.
You're going sushi? Is there sushi. Like, all right. So I'm not a big sushi guy. I don't like raw fish, and you can hate me on that if you want to, but that just means more for you. So if you could eat any, like, is there any one sushi that you like, or is it just sushi in general?
I think spicy tuna roll. That's my go-to.
Okay. And do you do the wasabi, or are you a pansy like me and won't go for it?
I'm a pansy. I can't handle wasabi. No spicy. Can't do it.
Yeah, no, not for me either. I don't understand people that they just like want to obliterate their mouths with like the hottest like chicken wings and stuff. No, it's not for me.
No.
I want to enjoy my life. Yeah. For me, for a long time on this one, it would have been pizza. Like when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, give me pizza. But now I have aged and matured. And more recently, I actually thought about this the other day. I was like, what's something I could just eat all the time? And right now it is a club sandwich. I don't know why I want my sandwiches to have 3 slices of bread instead of 2, but it's just perfect. It's a fantastic sandwich. It's solid.
It won't let you down. Yeah.
No, that. And then I've been getting a club sandwich with Ruffles chips. And this is our first sponsored podcast episode by Ruffles. So please enjoy Ruffles today. Brianna's doing a Vanna White model pose.
Ruffles at this moment.
I told you beforehand you were supposed to have Ruffles, and that's on us. For those of you listening, yeah, we'll Photoshop it. Yeah, that's the best. All right. So we now we know what you could eat forever and ever and ever. What is your perfect vacation? Like, if you just got to pick perfect vacation, what are you doing? Where are you going? What are you eating? Is it sponsored by Ruffles? Like, just give us the details. Yeah,
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Definitely sponsored by Ruffles. All the Ruffles. I think my perfect vacation is always I'm a trip person versus a like lay by the beach person. So I like to explore new places. So pretty high on my bucket list right now is Morocco. But so I have a lot to visit there. But perfect location. might just be like when you go on the train in like Europe, and you can just go country to country to country to country, and you hop on. That would probably be the perfect location, because I can experience so many different countries.
Now, would you like on that train for there to be a murder that happens and
that I can
a
solve?
man with a monocle that you guys can work together and figure this out?
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's got to be a man with a monocle.
I've got to stay entertained at night,
Yeah,
in between countries.
I imagine that would be more terrifying than fun, though. You're just hoping to God that you're not next. I don't know. This has gone off the rails
just the one
very
murder,
quickly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's just one. So, yeah. And there's obviously clues left behind. Do you think you could solve a murder on a train?
Of course. Definitely. No question about it. If you get murdered, I'll solve it right away.
Oh, thank God. I have a few police like detective friends that like that's what they do for a living. But you know what? I'm going to be like, don't call those guys. Got my girl Bree. Yeah, she's on it.
Yeah, I'll give them the details.
Please do. Yeah, please avenge me. I don't want you to just solve. I want you to avenge me. So.
Oh, okay. So I have to solve and avenge. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. You are my new Avengers. Right. Just you. You are my Iron Man. All right.
Me and the pigeons.
This has taken another turn that I don't think anybody was ready for. Please, Ruffles, don't drop our sponsorship quite yet. All right. So one last one in this first date round. What is on? So people have their bucket list, and that's great. Things you want to do, like just for fun. What do you have anything on your bucket list that you would?
Bucket list. Okay, I have personal bucket list items and professional ones. So personal bucket list, I'd like to visit every country.
Okay.
Minimum, and I'll start with every continent, but I would love to see every country. There's so many amazing, tiny, different little countries that you've never even heard of. So
how many continents are you at right now?
See, I think I'm only halfway through. I think I'm only at 4.
Okay.
Nope, 3. So I have a lot to go. I have a lot of work to do. Got to get back at it. These past 2 years set me back. And professionally, I would I want to be on a billboard in Times Square. I want you to walk through and be like,
wait,
that's where
Brie was. You want to be on a billboard?
No, my pictures, not me.
Okay. I want you to be on the billboard.
We'll put you be on the billboard, for famous podcaster. But Podcast Weekly. I would love exactly. Podcast Weekly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's your bucket list. Those are cool things. Now, do you have anything that's on your unbucket list? So like something that you would either A, never, ever, ever want to do, or B, never, ever want to do again. So the unbucket list.
Okay. So something I would never, ever, ever want to do is renovate a house. Something that's very popular here in New York for some reason is to buy a house in an hour from the city that's a piece of trash and rebuild it. I think I am the only person in Manhattan and Brooklyn that has zero interest in buying a project. Buying something that's broken and fixing it in my spare time. Why? If I'm going to buy a house, I would like it to have running water and work. I don't need to have an extra job. And things that I would never do again, probably work in an office. I cannot see myself ever having a 9-to-5 job again. I've been a freelancer for at least, I'd say over 10 years now. And I don't see myself being able to go back to the 9-to-5.
Yeah. Now on the, on one of your unbucket lists, the never wanted to buy a fixer-upper. I don't know why. So this is it's half bucket list, half unbucket list. So 2020, everybody had I saw my Instagram was just full of people that were taking old buses or vans and then flipping them and making them into RVs. And I'm telling you, I was this close to buying a conversion van or something. And luckily Katrina, my wife, she was like, because if you ever want to see me angry, if you ever want to see me curse or like just like be the worst version of myself, then get me like behind a power tool or like trying to fix something. So I cannot like, it would bring out the best and the worst of me all at once. It's incredible. So that's why it's on my bucket and unbucket list, because I don't want to do the work, but it sounds fun too. So
I think that could probably be on my unbucket list too, is that I would never live in a tiny home. I don't see the appeal of the theme. Like, and I see people like bragging about their tiny home sometimes, and I'm like, you realize that's just an apartment in New York City, you know? Like this is not so unique. It's just small. I do not see the appeal there either.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. The only thing that I would ever want a tiny home for is like, again, like if somehow like win the lottery or something, I think it'd be fun to have like a tiny house that is like on or near a beach somewhere that I go to like for 2 weeks a year, that kind of thing. And then like I'll let my buddies borrow it too or whatever. But that's the only reason I could see myself wanting to live in a tiny house. But I've got too many shoes for that. You know, that's just not for me.
In a tiny house.
Oh man. Yeah. I've got things. I'm not a hoarder. I'm like 2 levels under a hoarder. So, we're okay for now, but all right. So that was first date round. That was a lot of fun. It's good to know that you've got your unbucket list figured out. I like your bucket list things too. I want those things for you. I want to see you on, or I don't want to see your work on Times Square. I want to see you on Times Square. So yeah, no, let's just get you on.
That's on the unbucket list.
No. We're going to get you on like Good Morning America. And I think they just blast that on the Jumbotrons too. So okay, just for fun, you're like kind of squirming right now just thinking about this, but like, how are you so you're a photographer, fantastic photographer. How are you on the opposite side of the camera? Like
terrible. Very there's a common misconception that the term photogenic means like physically attractive. So if you'd say like, oh, she is photogenic and they're not, that people are like, oh, they're ugly or that she cute. Not at all. The term photogenic has nothing to do with your level of attractiveness. It's like how you photograph and like your comfortability. Completely opposite. I'm super unphotogenic, just very unphotogenic. I could give you countless examples. I can't make my hands behave. I tell people all day exactly what to do with their hands and how to be natural and how to do it, but I cannot do it at all. It's even a joke with my boyfriend and I that he will have to like hold my hand but out of frame to make sure it doesn't like form like a creepy nub.
All right. So just throwing this out there, just questioning. Do you feel like it's like when doctors go to the doctor, like they know too much? Are you too in your head to just relax and have fun in front of the camera? So you're like, my hand should be at a 45-degree angle right now. And my smile should be at a equinox distance to the Pythagorean theorem. I don't know. Like, is there just too much brain?
Too much in the head, too critical, not used to seeing it enough. I've never really been a self-portrait artist either, so I'm not used to doing that. So
I'm putting that on your bucket
staring
list.
At other faces. Oh no! One of my best friends here is an amazing self-portrait artist, and she's incredible at it. And just like look at it, I'm like, you're awesome. I'll never do that. I think I'm also just not interested enough in my own face.
Well, you are gorgeous. Be nice, my friend Bree. Get it together. All right. So that is the first date round. Congratulations. You made it through round 1. You did it. Wiping the sweat off of the brow and everything. And once again, we'd like to thank Ruffles for sponsoring that first round of. Well, I'm going to Photoshop that. I'm going to Photoshop a bag of Ruffles in your hand. So.
You're good with the computer.
I don't know about all that. All right. So that was a fun first round of just random. It's good to know that you could eat your body weight in sushi and in every continent, and that you want to be on a murder train. I think I was the one who brought up murder on the train. That's my bad.
Yeah, that was you.
You had this beautiful European vacation in mind, and then I just hijacked it with murder.
You had to go to murder. Yeah.
I did. Murder on the Orient Express. It's very important to me. Scooby-Doo styles. All right. So that was a fun round. So now we're moving into a little bit more heart, a little bit more of who you are. So this is beyond like something you would ask. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit more into who you are, how you think, how you process, who Bree really is. You ready to do this?
Okay, let's go.
She just got very solemn. Oh, she's back. Okay, good. All right. So we're still young, you and I. We're young people. But what are you looking forward to getting older? So you got, let's give you 40 years. Who do you want old Bree to be?
Oh, let's see. I think I'm definitely looking forward to having more free time. That would be nice. In my dreams, my mind, I'd love to, move into one of those like old assisted living or like communities, like curated communities with all my friends and go play, canasta and like rummy together, do a little like color me mine, like paint a pot, we all go on cruises together and dreams, goals.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, I think that ideally, I'd like to understand myself a little bit better. I definitely am, can find it's like a process, a learning process. And, I can be a little bit of a mystery to myself sometimes. So, I'm hoping that, some of these insecurities and things will be kind of past that, and I'll understand like more about like who I am and like what makes me tick and accept and like be more at peace.
Yeah, no, I absolutely feel that, because like my personality type, we're kind of similar in that, like both extroverts, both outgoing, whatever. And sometimes I feel like I'm going so fast that I never stop to like think about myself. I've got a few friends that they're heady, like they're always thinking about things like philosophical things and reading books about, I don't know, people that are way smarter than I'll ever be, but I never slow down enough to actually like think about like who I am, process how I'm feeling. And so I'm just going, doing, and I never slow down to do that stuff. So I would just say, hey, maybe slow down a little bit right now too, and start to keep thinking about those things and learning about Bree and keep learning about what makes you tick and why you do what you do, so that when you're old someday, you can look back and be like, oh yeah, things were good. Things are going good. I'm proud of you, friend. I think old Bree's going to be a blast. I think you're going to be like the grandma with the gum. That's just like,
oh yeah, all the flavors.
Yeah, you're always the one with like candy in your purse and that kind of stuff, just dealing out candy. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, because you're just like, in general, you're always just so fun. You were always the best. All right, so you said it. Yes, you are. This is, we're actually going to use this audio for someday when people like in museums, then they're looking at your pictures. She was the best. She was so fun. So yeah, I'm just pre-recording it now. So
okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So when it's in the Smithsonian someday or MoMA, people will know. So
perfect.
They'll look back on this as a milestone. So absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. So you just said it. So you're a super motivated person. Like you're moving, you've got things going on. So you're busy right now. This is a crazy like season in your life where you're just continuing you got projects and projects. Like legitimately scheduling this with you was so much fun, because it's like, I can do today. Nope, I can't. I've got to go to Berlin and shoot I got to take pictures of the spring flowers in Milan. I'm like, wait, what's going on? You got stuff going on. And like, honestly, for me, like even just hearing about people whose schedules are so busy. And so like, it just like, I'm tired for you. So what keeps you going? Like what motivates you to keep going, not only with work stuff, but what motivates you like in your personal life? Like what's keeping you, what's making you tick right now?
So for work, I would say, honestly, I just have so much that I would like to make. It's pretty easy for me to stay motivated with work because I've somehow managed to trick or convince everybody to let me make art for a living. It's kind of great. It's the best, and
That's awesome.
not every day is like perfect. There's grunt work, there's planning and stuff, but for the most part, it's a pretty great job. I get to work with my clients and brands to create stories to help them like communicate to their audience, and it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, my motivation is just I have so much that I would like to make. I don't have a lack of ideas. I have a lack of resources, if anything. So I constantly have ideas that I want to make. And then
that's so much fun.
Another, like, I guess the other motivation is that what we were talking about before is that like, I want it to be seen. I want that validation. And I want to have not me perhaps, but like, I want my work to be seen on a grand audience. I want it to be seen and known, the work that I've made. So, I mean, that's definitely a big motivator for me professionally, to get to different levels. And then personally, I think I'm motivated by like my relationships and creating like deeper and more meaningful relationships. Like you were saying before, we're both extroverts. We keep a wide circle, but I've definitely in the past couple of years been motivated by deepening those relationships and like getting to know people on like more than a surface level, taking friendships and that I've had for years that it might have been like more surface and like really starting to get to know people. And like you said, what makes them tick, what's important to them. And then like building community as well. Very, very important to me to spend time with community and to have one that you can give to, get from, circular. I don't know. I lost the last word there, but you get it.
I absolutely got it. Yeah. I think you're a lot like me in that you said it a second ago that we're extroverts, and like in my life, I feel like I can say hey to everybody. I will talk to anybody and everybody. I used to have a joke, people like I'd hug anybody. Like I just like I'm, as soon as I meet you, you're my best friend. And so
you're a hugger.
I'm sorry. It's never going to stop. But like, I love people and I love being around people. And like, that's why this has been so much fun, is I get to like have different conversations with people that I might not get to have a conversation with every day. But the thing that I'm trying to figure out more and more is not just having a bunch of relationships. I can like shotgun and like spread everywhere, but it's really deepening those relationships and finding people that know me beyond like surface Mike. That's honestly what this whole podcast is about, is that I see people around me that they have so much to offer, but like all you ever see of them is just like this like real surfacey level. And I'm the most guilty of that. Like I am the most guilty of like, just like, this is show Mike, of give him the old razzle dazzle, Ruffles Mike. And so, that the thing that I'm just trying more and more is to let the right people in and to really deepen those relationships. So I've got 4 or 5 guys that are absolutely there for me, and I can have the worst day and talk to them about things, and like it's not a judgment. It's I guess a judgment free zone, but they love me and they're just helping me to be a better me and stuff. So I like that a lot. So good job keeping yourself motivated, not only to do cool professional things, but to be a good person and to build relationships. So I love that. All right. So one more question and then we're out of here. Okay. And actually we're not out of here quite yet, but there's a little bit more podcast left. All right. So you are in a very visible career. You've got things that you're making and putting out in the world constantly. And so that being creative is a weird thing sometimes. So you're talking earlier about like how you have so much you want to create, but there's always going to be people who are on the other side of your picture that are going to be critics. And so you've probably had a few critics here and there, whether people you work with or people in the audience just watching. But how do you deal with critics? How do you deal with criticism? How does that interact with you?
I wouldn't say I'm the best at it.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I would say you're right for sure. There's a lot of criticism. Everybody has an opinion. It's fashion, and they definitely like to be heard. I take it pretty personally. It can be really difficult for me to separate myself from my work. So
Yeah.
criticism, my work feels very, very, very personal. It is definitely a goal of mine this year and something I'm working on really hard to be able to not take the criticism so personally.
Yeah.
And to be able to measure it and see like what criticism is helpful and and then implement it into bettering myself and what criticism I need to set aside. Because sometimes the criticism is great. Sometimes it's criticism and telling me different things that I can change with lighting or ways that I can, be more organized. But sometimes it's just someone who's had a rough day and doesn't actually know what they're talking about. And
Yeah.
and have to be the expert, and I have to stand up and use my understanding and my leadership to say, okay, this is why you're wrong. But in a respectful way. So it can be tricky,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's what
Yes.
I'm working on right now. Yeah.
Sometimes, like, it's kind of like you said, like sometimes you gotta kind of figure out, is this person like really being critical for the right reasons? Like, you can be critical for the right reasons and it's like the most helpful thing, but sometimes you're critical because you had a bad burrito and,
Yeah.
and people are just the worst. And so if you with creative things, sometimes it's just you have to find the right balance of like, who's this person, what are they here for? And uh yeah, if they're there just to be a critic, like you've got people that sometimes either personally or professionally, they'll be a critic not for constructive criticism but just for criticism's sake. They just like to complain, and those aren't the voices to listen to. Like, you've always got
Yeah.
to find the people that are in it for the right reason. So sometimes, so in a job situation, you got people that they're being critical to make the project better, and that's great. And sometimes you got people that are critical because they are a jerk. And so you got to like figure out between the two and figure out what's the best way forward. And I don't know if I've got to figure it out. I haven't figured out how to not take it personally either. That's kind of a tough sell. So,
Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah.
this is one last question that I am asking everybody on the podcast. And it's been really fun to hear different people's answers to this question. And just, I've learned a lot from hearing what other people have learned. But what's something you're learning right now? Like, you've got a lot going on, and I want to learn from you. What are you learning right now?
I honestly, I think it's related to what we were just talking about. It's I'm learning to stand up for myself and to not take things so personally. I've got a very bad case of the wanting people to like me, and it goes into my personal life, my professional life. It infects every part of it. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with wanting people to like you until you let it change how you act and you let it change your self-esteem and everything. And sometimes people just aren't going to like you. And sometimes you have to stand up to people either personally or professionally. And, it's not easy, but it's necessary, especially like in my work as like the leader of the set. I have to be able to stand up to the client. I have to be able to make sure that the project is going the best possible way. But sometimes people's expectations are not reasonable. Sometimes I'm right and they're wrong. And as much as I want, I'd love the client to be happy, sometimes they're not going to be happy because they've made a mistake and I haven't done anything wrong, and I have to communicate that to them.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to get that thick New York skin right now. That's something I'm just like working really hard on, is showing that confidence. And I know how to do my job, and I know how to light a scene. I know how to work with a a subject. I know how to create a beautiful image, but sometimes another part of being a photographer is when you're being trusted with an entire production is showing the client that you're confident to their face.
Yeah.
When something's going wrong, that's not, it's not anyone's fault, that, you're confident to turn it around and that you're confident in the decisions that you're making. And so sometimes, people have made mistakes and you just have to tell them that. So yeah, I guess I'm working on learning confidence, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you definitely deserve to have some confidence because the stuff you make, again, is so stinking cool. I wish I had like the talent you have in your pinky finger. I would be unstoppable. So yeah. And finding and figuring out how to use your voice is something that I don't have it figured out either. And so,
it's hard for all of us, I think.
Oh man. So, you got a good voice. So use it. I'm proud of you. Keep learning how to use it. All right. So we have finally, like we started off a little fun with the sushi and Murder on the Orient Express. And then things got a little serious there. But now we're going to end this with what I call the common ground round. It's a couple of this or that style questions. You got your cards there. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to ask you a couple this or that style questions, and I just need your blunt honesty. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we go. All right. When it comes to clothing, would you rather your clothing be patterned or plain? I feel like we might be the same on this one. I forgot to mention this before. We've done several episodes at this point, and no one has gone 5 for 5 with me. Let's see if we can get this first one right. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, pattern or plain? You put plain. Hey, we are both plain Janes. Look at you.
I like to accessorize. You can't have it. If you have too many patterns, you're competing with your accessories.
I do not like to accessorize. I just wear a plain t-shirt, and I'm not a genius. Please don't take this that way at all. But they say like those geniuses like Steve Jobs that like they just wear the same thing, or they wore the same thing every day. If I could do that and get away with it, I absolutely would. Like just give me like a comfortable t-shirt, some jeans, and some tennis shoes, and I'm set forever. So yeah. I'd rather go plain all day. All right. Would you rather, if you are, let's set the scene here. Are you ready for the scene setting? We are in Switzerland, and we are exploring. Would you rather travel by car or bike? Exploring Switzerland. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. What you got? Oh, she went bike. I went car.
I find it easier to like stop and like pop out and wander around. I always when I'm on bike.
Yeah,
car, you always have to find like a parking space. You're going so fast.
Mine comes down to just me being lazy. That's exactly where I'm at on that one. And you get to enjoy more of the countryside if you're driving by it very fast. So
okay, so if I'm exploring the countryside, then car. If I'm in the city, bike.
It seems like you don't know your answer, so I'm going to give that one that one is a miss with an asterisk. So we're 1 for 2 right now, or one. I don't know. It's asterisks there. Okay, here we go. When it comes to soda, are you going Coke or Pepsi? This one is easy. Everyone should get this one correct. All right, you ready to go? 3, 2, 1. What you got? I can't see it. You're on Pepsi? Oh, no. No way. I went Coca-Cola. Classic, not new Coke.
I'm failing.
It's okay. Have you always been a Pepsi gal?
I think so. Yeah. I like more of the friends of the Pepsi as well. Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't mean to correct you here. I'm allow me to mansplain for a second. Dr. Pepper is its own company, and I was gonna give the caveat that I like Coke and Pepsi. They're both fantastic products, but give me a Dr. Pepper any day of the week. That's where I'm at.
See, I give us a quarter point.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at 2.5 now. I mean, 1.5. So I feel good about that. So 1.5 out of 3. All right. Ready for the fourth one here. Would you rather eat pancakes or waffles? When I wrote these, apparently I was hungry because they're mostly food based. Pancake or waffle. All right. 3, 2, 1. What you got? Oh, we both went waffles.
Waffles.
All right. So is there you want the compartments to store? Do you like anything in your waffle? Is it just plain Jane waffle?
I think I like plain waffle. Yeah.
Now this is a personal thing. If I could get a pecan waffle from a Waffle House at midnight after working all day, that is heaven. I don't even care.
Pieces of pecan.
Yeah. Have you never had a pecan waffle? Bree, you're killing me, Smalls. If you guys could see the disgusted face she is making right now. Oh my goodness, it's the best.
You're just eating your waffle and then you get pecan. It's stuck in your tooth.
I'm absolutely. It's like it's a surprise for later. Now I'm going to be very honest with you. We had a big breakfast this morning, and I actually had a pecan waffle. So what you going to do about it? And look at me, I'm still here standing. All right, last one. And it is another food-based one. Are you ready for this? I'm sorry to everyone out there. It needs to happen. All right. When it comes to potatoes, are you going mashed or baked? Let's see what. Let me see what I can put here. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What you got? I went mashed. She went baked. What's going on, Bree?
I'm confused. I'm appalled.
Why are you appalled?
How could you ever go mashed over baked?
It's just
You're
delicious.
So limited in your options.
Yeah. What can you do with a baked potato you can't do with a mashed potato?
Exhibit A, crispy skin.
I could tan before I eat it, and my skin will be crispy. What do you want from me, Brianna? June Elledge. I don't know your middle name, so I just made up one for you. Listen, there's just something special. To me, mashed potatoes are holiday food. So I don't eat mashed potatoes all the time, but Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's a special treat. You can get a baked potato at any Waffle House. I don't know.
Right,
also, the second half has been sponsored by Waffle House.
Baked potatoes. you can put cheese and mashed potatoes. You can put olive oil and salt on the outside, so crispy.
You could do that with a mashed. You could do twice baked mashed potatoes. Listen, there's the possibilities.
Baked potatoes.
Why are we baking them so many times? Why we should just make up our minds with how many times we're going to bake them, and just bake them right the first time. Oh, Brie, I just thought of something that I've been meaning to ask you this whole time. How much is your life like the movie The Devil Wears Prada?
I mean, is it not like it at all? I mean, it's basically an exact replica of The Devil Wears Prada.
So are you more Meryl Streep or Anne Hathaway in this situation here? Or, hear me out,
you're being very kind.
Stanley Tucci.
I dare to dream of Stanley Tucci. Who doesn't want to be Stanley Tucci? I mean, it's pretty much exactly like real life.
Okay.
I mean, kidding aside, it kind of isn't that far-fetched.
Oh, man.
Spoiler alert. If you have never seen The Devil Wears Prada, now is the time to go and do your laundry and take your dog for a walk. Check back in 5 minutes.
So you've officially been warned, everyone. If you have not seen The Devil Wears Prada in the last, how old is The Devil Wears Prada? 2005?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to.
You've had at least 10 years to watch The Devil Wears Prada. It's on TBS probably right now. Just turn your TV on to any station.
Just watch it. It's always playing.
And then come back for the rest of whatever Bree's about to tell us.
I'm going to watch it after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to be fair though, if you watch it, for the spoilers, there is a scene in it where the Meryl character, she's supposed to be like Anna Wintour, she gives this big long monologue because the intern character, Anne Hathaway, kind of laughs at Meryl Streep when she's picking out belts because she's like, oh, these two belts are like exactly the same. And then Meryl launches into this insanely amazing, just like perfect monologue explaining to her all of the ways that the high-end fashion influences every little part of life. That's actually, she's not, it's pretty spot on because now that I work in fashion, I see how like those higher up in like the creative directors and the magazine editors and how they're creating fashion that you'll see at like a couture show or a fashion show. And then you'll start to see that trend setting, that creation trickle down into every phase of like society, even down to your like Walmart and Target. And it is kind of fascinating seeing how like they're shaping and, creating these different trends in society that we all participate in, but nobody thinks about how they're actually created.
Now, for those of you who are not wanting spoilers, you can come back and join us now. Now the Devil Wears Prada has been spoiled. The thing that I don't get is like the crazy fashion weeks where it's like somebody took like a fish bowl full of mullet and everybody's got a mustache with 3 hairs all pointing a different direction. And again, this is me, fashion designer. And then they're wearing boots, but the boots are actually cottage cheese containers. And then they're like, that's fashion. And we are supposed to, I don't get that at all. But I do like a good solid black t-shirt and jeans. So if there's any of that out there, I could be a designer, but
you would have the exact right outfit to be a lighting assistant. That is definitely the uniform: black t-shirt, black jeans.
if this whole podcasting thing doesn't work out, I'm going to come holler at you up in the NYC and
we'll have some opportunities for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll point some lights in places. That'd be great.
Perfect.
Okay. So now that we know that Devil Wears Prada is real and that fashion is being controlled by people like Brianna all the time. Oh man, this has been so much fun. Thank you, friend. All right. So if there's people out there that want to maybe follow you or maybe get to know you a little bit better, what's the best place to find you on the internet or wherever?
On the interwebs, pretty much just Instagram. I would say Instagram is the best place to come and follow along. It is just Brie Elledge Photography.
Deals. And did you want me to give out your cell phone number right now for those of you listening?
Go ahead and give me a call if you need photography.
It is 555-827-444-333. I don't know if that's enough or too. It's too many numbers, but here we are.
It'll figure it out.
Brie, thank you so much for being here and doing this. You are a rock star, and I'm just so proud to know you, much less be your friend. So thanks for doing this. You are the best.
Thank you to Mike and all the friends of Mike for joining in.
Oh man, it's so much fun. For all of you listening, thank you for joining us here at Maybe You're Like Me, and we will see you next week. Have the best week. We'll see you soon.